Okay, we're here with Jonny, saying about Starcraft II. Jonny, obviously enough, we want to talk about Starcraft II to start off with. Game was released last year, but can we sort of talk about what the reaction, coming off the back of that fantastic reaction for it, where are you guys at with the actual game?
Right now we're hard at work on Heart of the Swarm, enjoying the success of Wings of Liberty and the reception it's gotten, but we've been hard at work for the last, I guess a little over a year, working on Heart of the Swarm. Heart of the Swarm, we're focusing on three things. Amazing mission design, we feel that's the beating heart of any Blizzard RTS campaign. More compelling choices to make between missions. In Liberty, we thought we gave you some really cool choices and we really wanted to amp that up. And finally, just amazing storytelling in a way that only the Blizzard Cinematics team can do. And we kind of left you on a cliffhanger at the end of Wings of Liberty, and we're trying to put together a story that's really worthy of that and kind of takes it to the next level.
Well, obviously you said you've been working on it for about a year now, but was the idea conceived at the start of StarCraft II's development cycle, or have you guys coming into this completely fresh from a year ago?
I think we had a very, very rough outline, but we've tried to keep things as open as possible. The mission mechanics and the story beats kind of play off of each other, so when we sat down to kind of design each mission arc, we would kind of come up with a list of cool mechanics and cool story beats, and then we kind of start matching them up, and sometimes we'd have to change a mechanic because the story beat had changed, or sometimes we had a really cool mechanic and we'd be like, well, I guess we'll have to change the story to match this. So we've tried to keep it really open-ended.
Was there any sort of feedback from fans and critics of StarCraft II? Did any of that go into the design for this expansion?
Well, we pay a lot of attention to our fans, but at the same time we also have very definite ideas where we want the story to go and what we want it to be like. So yeah.
Well, sort of talk us through the story element of Heart of the Swarm. Where are we at? What are we looking at? What should fans expect when they pick it up?
Well, for those of you that finished Wings of Liberty, Kerrigan was restored to human form, and she went off with Raynor and Valerian and Matt Horner, and that's where the mission takes off. And what they're trying to assess at the beginning of Heart of the Swarm is, what is Kerrigan at this point? She was restored to human form, but there are still some Zerg elements. You can see she had the kind of funky insect dreadlock hair. So they're trying to figure out how infested she still is. Does she have her old personality back, or does she still have kind of the more homicidal elements of the Queen of Swarm's personality? So that's basically where the story sets you at right there. And what we're kind of revealing right now is at the beginning of Heart of the Swarm, the lab is discovered by Arcturus Mengsk forces. Everybody kind of has to scatter. And Kerrigan is currently in the process of trying to get the swarm back together to find and kill Arcturus Mengsk.
And what sort of missions should players expect to see?
Well, there's two missions we're showing on the floor right now. Not sure if you've had a chance to play them. Early in the morning, isn't it? But yeah, there's two missions. The first one is Kerrigan has come back to Char, and there's a rival queen who doesn't recognize her as the Queen of Blade. She's mostly a Terran at this point, doesn't respect her anymore. Kerrigan wants her brood back. She won't relinquish it. So she and Kerrigan are kind of in a match to the death, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to collect all these unhatched eggs in the hatching pools on Char. And Kerrigan will be out with her army, and Zagara will be out with her entourage. And occasionally you bump into each other. There's usually a fight to the death, and the winner gets to keep collecting eggs, and the loser has to respawn back in their base. And so it's kind of a race to see who can collect the most eggs and create the largest army. Other mission you get to play, you'll be fighting against the Protoss on a frozen moon that has like blasting winds where the temperatures approach absolute zero. You actually find some native Yetis that have kind of adapted to the cold, and you kind of incorporate their DNA tissue so you can resist it, but the Protoss have to cocoon themselves in protective shields. So you can use that to your advantage. When these freezing winds come in, the Protoss kind of have to go into a dormant state, so you can go into their bases and try to wreak as much havoc as possible. And you can either try to finish them off in their weakened state, or you can pull back and wait for the next blizzard. So those are kind of two examples of the unique mission mechanics that players can expect in Heart of the Swarm.
Tell me, you guys must be fairly confident coming into an event like this now. This must be very easy to do, or is there sort of element of, are you guys still nervous when you show new stuff to fans?
Well, I know I am. No, I think every time we're having to prove ourselves all over again. That's kind of how we always see it. We don't take anything for granted, and we definitely don't take our fans for granted.
We sort of, I mean, obviously Blizzard's so connected with the fan community. I mean, it's one of those companies that sort of that symbiosis is absolutely fantastic and feels very, very unique. On a sort of wider scale, don't worry, sort of the eyes there. Oh my God, just sort of on a wider scale. How do you guys interact with the community, sort of like with projects like this? Can you sort of like discuss?
I think one of our core values at the company that kind of encapsulates this is embrace your inner geek. My theory is we always know what our audience wants because we are our audience. We play games fanatically. We play our own games fanatically. We try to just maintain our inner child, I guess, and just constantly try to maintain that sense of wonder. We also read the forums and we listen to our fans very closely because they're the people we're making the games for.
Obviously, a big part of the community for Starcraft II is the map editors. They are still ongoing, I expect. What sort of stuff have you guys seen coming out of the community? Is there anything absolutely fantastic that have blown your mind?
Oh yeah. We created that fun or not mechanic for the mod community because we wanted new mods to be discovered, and we're constantly playing them. We play Sodas quite a bit, Desert Strike, and we play the games, and we sometimes. We'll get together and we'll just say, hey, have you checked out that new mod lately? And just, we really enjoy them.
Well, is there anything else we should know about StarCraft II? Or, sorry, I should say Heart of the Swarm. I keep saying StarCraft II. Heart of the Swarm, is there anything else we should know about it?
Well, we're going to have a lot of exciting stuff to show at BlizzCon, multiplayer, Dota. And like I said, we're focusing on those three things. Unique mission design, compelling choices between the missions, and just an amazing story that players won't forget.
Listen, thank you very much indeed for your time. I guess that's us. Cheers.